Hey guys, Barrett here. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about how to do the cross-court backhand slice. One of my favorite shots. I'm gonna give you some tips on how to do it, but also I'm gonna give you a few warnings on when not to do it. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I need to go over here is just a small little word of warning. This is a really fun shot to do, and I mean, it's really effective when you get it off. However, it is kind of a trick shot. So remember that when you're dinking back and forth cross court, you really want to be able to take a lot of these balls out of the air. You want to volley a lot of these cross court shots here instead of letting them bounce and come over here to this side of the court. So when you're doing a backhand slice, you're almost always doing them over here on the side here, okay? So keep in mind though, that if you can take them out of the air here, that's what you wanna do. You don't wanna let them bounce. I've gotten in trouble many times by doing that. I get really greedy with the spinny stuff. It's fun, it's fancy, it looks really cool, but it'll also make you lose sometimes. So that's my first word of warning. Now, footwork. Footwork is really important when you're doing these kind of shots. In pickleball, we never teach people to cross over their feet like this. Let me face you. Okay, we never teach people to do this kind of stuff. The reason is because if you hit that ball a little bit too high, guess where it's going? It's going right behind you and you're not gonna get it. So if I'm facing the line here, we never wanna do this because again, we're left behind over here. However, with a shot like this, when we're doing a backhand slice cross court, you can totally come out over here and do this kind of motion. The reason is because the ball, you're so far out over here, it's gonna take a long time to get the ball across court. So you do have plenty of time to come back and to get back into your ready position. So that's footwork. Now, if you can do a slice without doing that, that's preferable. It is purely a switch, a sort of shift in your center of gravity. Everything is still out in front of you, okay? But if you have to reach for it, then you can cross over and do that just fine. Okay, so let's talk about the swing. When it comes to the swing on this kind of shot, it is a slice, meaning that we're coming down on it like that. The most important thing to understand is that there's no wrist, okay? There's none of this stuff going on.
Hey guys, jumping in here real quick, just because I realized that I forgot to mention something. Yes, there is no wrist going down. However, every now and then, and what you'll see in the video is that my wrist kind of breaks going that way. And the reason is that if I'm way out on the sideline trying to do a slice cross court, every now and then you're gonna have to break your wrist a little bit to get the trajectory going in the right angle. So just keep that in mind. Your wrist can break going towards your opponent. However, just don't break it going down. It'll just make you less accurate. But yeah, I just wanna jump in and clarify that.
Now, if you're comfortable with that, then you could probably make it work. However, you really wanna focus on the elbow and the shoulder. Notice how I'm coming straight down like this. Notice how there's no wrist. You see this 90-degree angle here, almost 90-degree angle? That's what you want. See that? Okay? So just try that real quick. Just try doing that. Nice and easy. No wrist. It's all on the elbow and then the shoulder, okay? When it comes to the trajectory of the swing is really important. You have to get the ball over the net. So we don't want to come down like this. We don't want to come across like this. Instead, we want to come diagonally down like that. Notice how the paddle is still facing kind of upward, but I'm still getting spin on it by coming down and I'm also still pointing the paddle sort of at my opponent, okay? This is gonna get the ball to go up, right, towards my opponent. However, it's still gonna get spin on the ball as well, okay? So to start out really simple with a couple of drills. Just try this motion. That's all you gotta do. And look, if it doesn't go over, don't worry about it, okay? Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, let me show it to you from this angle now. Good, nice. So notice how there's not a lot of wrist movement in this stuff. It is purely all elbow and all shoulder, like that, all day long. And notice how also, I'm not hitting the ball very hard, you know? Like, you don't have to hit the ball hard, just nice and easy. Let the paddle do the work. Don't force it, right? The more you force it, the worse it's gonna be. Now you see how I'm coming straight down diagonally like that? That's the most important part of this whole thing. You don't want to come too flat like this, right? Like that. If you do, the ball's not going to go anywhere. So focus on coming diagonally. And again, if you can volley the ball normally. This is a shot. It's a unique shot that you're using. This is not something you're going to be doing all the time, okay? Diagonally. Like that. Slice. Nice and easy. Okay, so just a few extra tips here. Remember that when you're dinking cross court like this, you know, you don't want to be doing slices out here in front of you, at least not very often. They're a little bit more difficult to do. It's much easier to do when they're over here like this. Not only that, but you can get that really sick cross court, that's kind of shallow cross court angle. Okay, so if you're dinking with someone here, you know, you don't want to be you know, doing the spinny stuff too often. All right, so when I have the opportunity, I'm gonna go ahead and do that kind of spinny motion. But if you don't have the room or you don't have the time to do it, then it's important just to do a nice little cross-court dink. No fancy stuff. Again, I've gotten into trouble many times because I've tried to do the fancy stuff when I shouldn't be doing so. Anyway, guys, that is how you do a backhand cross-court dink or slice with a lot of backspin on it. It's a really great shot to do. It's super effective, but remember, don't do it very often. It's just for fun, and it's an opportunity shot. Anyway, if you guys like the video, feel free to subscribe down below. Hit that little notification bell to let you know whenever I upload a video. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.